Hi there. The farmhouse on the hill. Far out in the country, away up on a hill, there lived a boy named Dick and a little girl named Nancy. Dick was 8 years old and Nancy was 6. They lived in a big white farmhouse on the hilltop. From their house, they could look down the hill and all around, and every time they looked, they saw many, many things. To the south, from the front door, they could see their own farm road running down the hill. They could see the corner where the road joined the highway going into town. Near this corner, they could see the house where their friend Jim lived and the gas station that Jim's father owned. From the east windows of the farmhouse, Dick and Nancy could see pastures with stone fences. They could see the green waters of a pond shining through the trees. On the other side of the pond, they could see the woods. From the north windows, up under the roof, they could see the barn where the 2 big horses and the cow lived. They could see the hen house, and even the corner of the barnyard where the pigs liked to root in the mud. Over the roof of the barn, Dick and Nancy could see many other farms. Not too far away, where the sky and the ground looked as if they came together, they could see a tree-covered mountain. From the west windows on the second floor, they could look down into the tops of the apple trees. Over the tree pots, they could see the roof and the chimney of the house where their friend Mr. Banks lived. Mr. Banks was very old and he lived all alone. Dick and Nancy called on him every day or two because they liked him and because he was their neighbor. Dick and Nancy had other neighbors who lived on the hill. Birds made their nests in the apple trees and in the woods. Rabbits lived in the grass on the pastures. Fish and tadpoles played about in the pond. Turtles and frogs lived to sun themselves on the rocks. Sometimes an old grandfather frog watched Dick and Nancy from the bank of the pond and jumped into the water with a splash as they came near him. So Dick and Nancy had many friends and neighbors near their farmhouse on the hill. Okay, so the Hebrews. So I'm reading in this book an article on the Hebrews. The Hebrews were descended from nomadic Semites. One of them, Abraham, led his people from Ur on the river Euphrates to Canaan. to found a nation dedicated to serving the one God. In the 1500s, one group, the Israelites, settled in Egypt to escape a famine. Later, they became mere slaves, and during the reign of Ramses II, they escaped and returned to Canaan. There they came into conflict with existing settlers, the Canaanites and the Philistines. Under King David, the Hebrews defeated the Philistines and established their capital at Jerusalem. After the death of David's son Solomon, the kingdom split in two: Israel in the north and Judah in the south. Eventually, both kingdoms were overrun by the Babylonians and their populations carried off into slavery. When the Persians conquered Babylon in the 500s BC, the Hebrews returned to their homeland.